Hello YouTube pipers, Double O Pipe here with my Santa hat so I can cut this beard off soon. Okay, I'm going back to my brand new pipe, my Norman Rockwell, the Stanwell, wasn't it? Yeah, Stanwell pipe. And in it I'm going to put J.M. Boswell's Christmas Cookie, which I have tried earlier this year and liked it. So, to be a portion of the season, I'm going to smoke a brand that has the word Christmas in it. And cookie, though it didn't taste like a cookie, but which I was going to say last week I made cookies. I bought some of those Toll House chocolate chips and I followed the recipe. I think I might have talked about it before and messed up because I dumped everything into a bowl and had a real problem trying to mix it. But those particular cookies were really good. They tasted like Toll House cookies, I remember. And so when I finished those up, I made another batch. Not yesterday, but the day before yesterday. And I mixed it up the way you're supposed to mix it up. And they're a big disappointment because they don't have that rich taste that the last batch did. So obviously, mixing everything all at one time, like I did with the first batch, was the way to do it. No matter what the recipe said. So anyway, ho ho ho, Merry Christmas. How does that sound? I don't remember that Santa Claus was big when I was really young. My dad told me that when I was about 5, he heard me talking to one of my friends outside the window, we were talking back and forth, and we were talking about we knew that Santa Claus didn't exist, but we knew that we had to pretend that he did so we'd get the presents we wanted. Now my dad remembered that, but it's not something I remembered. I don't remember ever discussing Santa Claus with my friends. Okay. That's good. This is another one I could smoke. Pretty much like Carter Hall. Not that I can tell you what's in it. I mean, I could read the side to find out what's in it, but as to tasting those individual things, couldn't do that. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve, so I know everybody is up to date, got all the presents, everything wrapped. So I know everybody's prepared. I've been waiting for my son to call and say when they're coming over, but he hadn't even mentioned Christmas all week, so I don't know. They may not be coming over. They've been sick, so it's a possibility they won't. I don't know. I haven't put up a Christmas tree in years. I think since after my mother died. My dad used to get the lights out to put on the tree, and they'd always be in a jumble, and it would take him about an hour to separate them all. Excuse me. And then he'd plug it in, and they wouldn't light up. So he'd have to go through every one to see which light bulb was the one that was stopping the rest of them from running. He'd finally find that, and then he'd put the string on the tree. Excuse me. I don't know why, but I swallowed a lot of air with that. He'd put them up on the tree, and he'd plug it in, and once again, no light. So he'd go through them again while they were on his tree, mumbling words that he didn't want me to hear the entire time. And he'd find it finally, plug it in, because every time he'd put a new bulb in, he'd plug it in again. I don't know if he was concerned about being shocked or what, but he would finally find it, and then we would put the rest of the decorations on the tree. And the tree was always in front of the window that looked out to the road so people could see it. Of course, now this house was about 50 feet back from the road with pine trees growing up in front of it, so I don't think anybody could see the house or the front window with the tree in it. I think when my grandparents came over to visit from England and they were there for that Christmas, Dad decided he wasn't going to mess with that tree and those lights again. So we went to Edwards 5, 10 and $1 store on King Street and picked up an aluminum tree, and we put that up and had one of those lights on the side that had a rotating disc with 4 different colors: red, blue, yellow, and green, so that it would reflect off of those aluminum branches that had curling aluminum strips. And after that was set up, we'd put the bulbs on the tree. But no icicles on that, so. And no lights, because in case it shorted out. So every year after my grandparents were there, it was that year when they were there that we did not go to my great-grandmother's in Georgia. And it was that year that my great-grandmother passed away. So we missed out on the last Christmas that they had. But Dad's parents were over, and we had them to celebrate. I already told the story about Dad taking me along with him to find a tree out in Grandmama's woods for a Christmas tree that year. And the tree somehow the stump snapped back and hit me in the forehead and knocked me out. I know I told that story somewhere along the way. That was a big Christmas for me. I still carry that scar up here. It's not detectable because it goes right into my worry lines. So sure scared my mother. I can't remember too much else other than those few things. We did go Christmas shopping to the local stores. The fun thing when I was really young, when we lived downtown, is we would walk along the main thoroughfare, King Street, and the shops or the stores with the big front windows would have their setups for Christmas, and they were always fun to look at. If you've seen the movie A Christmas Story, then you'll see what I'm talking about there. And we used to go for the Christmas parade too. And Santa would always be at the end, but I don't remember Santa ever throwing candy to us. I know I've seen it in all the movies and everything that he'll throw candy out to the children, but I don't know that I don't remember him doing it at our parades. Don't guess it really matters. So tomorrow's Christmas Eve, and that's always the day that the children, the little children, are the most excited, and it's hard to put them to sleep at night. We were always too excited and didn't fall asleep for the longest time. And then the folks would come in to check to make sure we were asleep at Grandmama's before they would put out Santa's presents. And that was the only place we had a fireplace where the mantle held our stockings. And for such a short little lady, Grandma's stockings were certainly long because they reached from the top down to the floor, so I don't know. Maybe she was taller than I remember. Or they just bought those for Christmas alone, I don't know. And Clyde making his have a hole in the toe and putting a wash tub at the bottom with that toe sticking into the wash tub so he could catch the overflow. And then there was me. Every year I'd say, can I please have a BB gun this year? And if you saw that movie, you knew the answer to that. No, you'll shoot your eye out. That's exactly what they said too. And every year I'd ask for a BB gun. The older I got, I still got the same answer. And then one year, I got this long box, and I said, finally, I'm going to get a BB gun. I opened it up, and it was a single shot, a .22 rifle single shot. A .22 rifle single shot. You could shoot your eye out, but you could also kill your friends. My dad, I don't know his reasoning behind that, but he said, you're old enough to know how to be responsible with a gun. And I was thinking to myself, all I wanted was a BB gun. You've given me a lethal weapon here. but that was what I got that year. And my friend and I would go out. He had a 22 also, and we'd go out hunting in the woods. Every time I'd kill a rabbit and bring it up, somebody would say, "You can't eat those this time of year. They got weevils or something. I don't know." So I never could understand when is the season for rabbits. So my neighbor back there found out I had a 22, and she called me over and she said, "There are rats running up and down the canal here." And they had little burrows running along the edge. And she said, "For every one you kill, I'll give you $1." So I would be out there with my 22 looking for them, and I'd plink at them and shoot them, and they go flip. And I'd go collect my $1. She was happy to see me come over looking for another $1. They must have had some problems with them getting into their house or something. One year, we were out there shooting at the rats, and we went back inside and put up all the stuff. We didn't see anything, but we had shot the gun many times. And the police drove up. And my friend and I walked out there and said, and they came into the driveway, so we went out there and said, "What's up?" They said, "We got a call that somebody was out here shooting a gun." And we said, "Really?" They said, "Yeah, we're coming over to check it out and make sure that whoever it is stops." And they said, "Have y'all seen anybody?" And we both said, "No, sir, we haven't seen someone shooting out here. We'd know if we had." Boy. And then that 22 rifle, when I came back from my trip from England, 1966 during the summer, and I came back at the end of summer, a friend I hadn't seen for years, excuse me, was sitting in a chair over there when I walked in, and Dad looked at me and said, "Your friend came here and said he needed a place to stay." And my dad always welcomed any of the friends I had that needed a place to stay. He always welcomed them. They were okay to stay here. And they knew that. Well, he took that gun and sawed it off, and then shaped the stock so that it looked like a pirate pistol. And I would take that out and shoot it, and it was a little off. I had to aim a little to the right and a little below, and then it would hit what I was looking at. I don't know. But the firing pin fell out of it 10 years ago. So it's kind of worthless, but I keep it because it reminds me of those days. Plus, it was my dad's answer to a BB gun. Before he'd let me take it out to shoot it, I had to sit down and read all the instructions that came with it. And he took the instructions and asked me questions from it, and I had to answer those questions before he would allow me to go out and shoot the gun. But it was interesting that he thought that I was responsible enough to have the present of a 22 rifle when for all those other years I was not responsible enough to have a BB gun. And the thing is, with the BB gun, I would always borrow somebody's and we would have BB gun wars. I don't know if y'all ever did it, but we did. We would shoot at each other with BBs. Boy, we were stupid. It's amazing that we made it through childhood. I hope that y'all will have the joy of children, young children, around your house. Because I found that that was what provided the real joy for the season, is when you would see their eyes when they opened the packages and found exactly what they wanted. And they'd always say, "It's just what I wanted." And as I say, though the movie A Christmas Story supposedly took place in the 40s, when I was little, about that age, that's what our Christmases were like too. It was family, the anticipation of that one big present that you wanted being under the tree, unless it was a BB gun. And always the going to Georgia, Clio, Georgia, to play on the farm, because winters here weren't really cold, so that it wasn't summer, but it wasn't cold either. And playing on the farm was a child's treasure island, practically. It was just a wonderful experience. We were allowed to go wherever we wanted to, and there were woods around and dirt roads that we walked on, fields, cows, pigs, chickens, and dogs. 2 or 3 dogs. Anyway, y'all take care of yourselves. Please enjoy your Christmas. Like I say, I hope you have some children running around, little children running around, anticipating what they're going to get from Santa, and that they still believe in Santa, because that's kind of fun. I mean, some people are against Santa, but for little children, it's kind of fun. And I see no problem with it. It's not like Santa was put on a pedestal and worshipped or anything. It was just an idea, a reason to be good. It was, I don't know, just fun. So, Merry Christmas. Take care of yourselves. I hope you had a pipe with me. And if you get a chance, try this J.M. Boswell's Christmas cookie. It's good stuff. I think I'm going to go empty this and do another bowl. Take care of yourselves. I'm going to say, God bless. Bye-bye.